Welcome to the April 2014 edition of Inside Rice University. Spring is in the air and campus is the place to be. If you've ever wanted to visit Rice, now is the time. For the next half hour, we'll show you why. We start off this month's show with a tour of Rice. Welcome to Rice University. This is where it all started, Leavitt Hall. The Sally Port is in the middle of Leavitt Hall. It's where Rice students enter as freshmen and exit as graduates.
And on the other side of Leavitt Hall is Willie's statue, anchored in the center of the academic quad. It's modeled after our founder, William Marsh Rice. It's a perfect place to meet, or maybe even have a class.
The academic quad has been the center of campus since Rice opened in 1912. This is where most of the social sciences, humanities, and architecture classes take place. The School of Social Sciences is known for award-winning faculty who engage in research that affect everyone in their everyday lives and generate solutions that make lives better. The Rice School of Architecture is one of the nation's highest-ranking schools for student satisfaction.
Unlike the tragic hero,
And the School of Humanities is where world-class faculty challenge students to explore history, languages, the visual and dramatic arts, and more.
Also located on the academic quad is Fondren Library. It's nicknamed during exams as Club Fondy because pretty much every student is here.
The Rice campus has two loops, an inner loop and an outer loop. As you can see, things move a little faster on the outer loop.
We have some of the happiest students in the world at Rice, and it's easy to see why. The Barbara and David Gibbs Recreation and Wellness Center opened in 2009 and is a state-of-the-art facility for health and fitness.
One of the first things you notice about Rice is our trees. There are over 4,300 of them. A tree canopy blankets the 300-acre urban campus. The John and Ann Grove is a great example of the Rice landscape and alumni generosity. The grove was made possible by a gift from John and Ann Mullen, who met here when they were students.
Located right in the middle of campus, Brockstein Pavilion is a popular gathering place for students and faculty. Inside this unique building, you'll find coffee, sandwiches, and a great place to meet.
Behind me is Alice Pratt Brown Hall, home of the Shepherd School of Music. The Shepherd School of Music is ranked among the top 10 undergraduate music programs in the country.
Brockman Hall for Physics provides state-of-the-art labs and creates a place for interaction in the natural sciences. Brockman Hall is just one of the research buildings used by the Rice School of Natural Sciences, whose faculty have always explored new frontiers for Rice University. In 1985, Nobel Prize-winning Rice researchers discovered the buckyball, setting off a nanoscale science-tech revolution.
45 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees. This is the engineering quad. The George R. Brown School of Engineering is composed of 8 academic departments and includes 17 research institutes and centers.
Just behind the engineering quad is the Oshman Engineering Design Kitchen, known on campus as the OEDK. It's a workspace designed for undergrads studying in engineering, math, computer science, material science, and statistics.
Jamel Plaza and its signature fountain sit in between the Baker Institute and the Jesse H. Jones Graduate School of Business. The Jones School MBA program is ranked among the top 20 in the country by the Financial Times. Since its inception in 1993, Rice's Baker Institute for Public Policy has established itself as one of the premier nonpartisan public policy think tanks in the country.
This is where I call home, McMurtry College, one of our 11 residential colleges. Students are assigned at random when they enter Rice, and are members for life.
This is the quad of Brown College, where I live. Welcome to my other home, Rice Stadium, home of the Rice Owls. Rice student athletes play Division I athletics, and that requires a set of top-notch facilities. Tudor Fieldhouse is where you'll find Rice basketball and volleyball. Reckling Park is one of the best places in the country to watch and play a college baseball game. The park features a picturesque setting on the Rice campus facing the Texas Medical Center.
Right across the street from Rice is the largest medical center in the world, and Rice is a part of it. The Bioscience Research Collaborative, or BRC, has custom-designed research labs that allow Med Center scientists to collaborate with scientists from Rice.
Rice is home to a growing number of contemporary artworks. James Turrell's Twilight Epiphany Skyspace is one of the latest additions. The site-specific art installations around the university will make you wonder if you're on a college campus or at a museum.
Another must-see spot is the Rice Gallery, dedicated to beautiful site-specific installation art. The gallery is home to temporary, large-scale environments that visitors can walk into and explore.
Even though Rice is over 100 years old, there's still room to grow. The Suzanne M. Glasscock School of Continuing Studies will soon move into their new home on the west side of campus. The school offers personal and professional development programs for the Houston community and beyond.
We hope you enjoyed our tour of Rice University. So please, visit the Welcome Center located in Leavitt Hall. You really just have to come and experience our beautiful campus and see where unconventional wisdom happens.
If you think Rice looks pretty from the ground, you should see it from the air. Thanks to a Rice alum, we can give you an aerial tour in the next story.
It's called a multi-rotor, and it's a radio-controlled helicopter with 4 rotors that's GPS stabilized, but I control it from here. I can make it go wherever I want, in theory. I was cruising around YouTube and I saw some just amazing shots of kids jumping over, like BMX bikers jumping over stuff, and it was shot in a way that no helicopter ever could have gotten those shots. And I looked into it to see how they got those shots, and it turned out they were using one of these, which is a multi-rotor radio-controlled camera platform. So I said, that is awesome. I started researching it because I love to photograph things. I like to take video. So I went with the GoPro camera, with the XP2, and put the camera on there, roll up the blades up in the air, and you get some footage that you really never see that perspective from the ground. I mean, I've walked through the Sally Port hundreds, if not thousands of times, and yet I've never gone up to the Sally Port and flown over it. I've walked into Rice Stadium dozens of times, and yet I've never gone through the tunnel and over the goalposts and over the field. So it just gives you a unique perspective on everything. I thought, what better way to give something to Rice than these aerial video and aerial pictures that really, to me, kind of hopefully capture the university's spirit.
Not many people can say they grew up on the beautiful Rice campus, but now we meet a family that did just that.
My dad used to work here.
What was your dad's name?
Jose Garcia.
We had a wonderful, wonderful visit today. What have you got there?
The map.
Drew a map. From a family who spent part of their childhood growing up on the Rice campus.
Well, we used to live here. Yeah. We lived here from the year 1945
something like that,
till I think 1949.
Here's where we lived.
Because I was about, what, 4?
Yeah.
There was never a dull moment.
Their dad was Jose Garcia, who worked for Tony Martino on the Rice Institute grounds crew. And so these kids spent part of their childhood, growing up in the then completely wooded, forested western part of campus along where the bayou was.
We had no modern conveniences. And it was like living out, like we were isolated in the middle of nowhere.
To me, I think it's important because I have to give thanks to my dad being here at Rice, you know, just being developed, and we knew it was going to grow bigger and bigger, and if we hadn't moved here, we wouldn't have known anything about Rice University.
This is really meaningful to me for two distinct reasons. The first reason is because I can actually talk to people who lived on the campus in the wild western part of the campus before any of this was developed. But the other thing, and here's where I get choked up, is everyone can tell you about the important faculty members at the Rice Institute. Everybody can tell you about the the presidents and the provosts and the big donors on campus, the members of the Board of Trustees. But it takes many, many more people besides that to have built this institution.
All for Rice's honor, we will fight on. We'll keep on fighting till the day is done.
It means a lot to me to be able to meet some of these people and thank them.
All for Rice's honor, we will fight on. Yay, yay.
At the forefront of education stands a small school with a big story. One of pioneers, leaders, and entrepreneurs, of Oscars, Pulitzers, and Nobel Prizes. A story of the world's most brilliant minds working together to challenge convention, making discoveries that will change the course of history, and innovations that will change everything. Rice University, advancing the world with unconventional wisdom.
Welcome back to Inside Rice University. Recently, public art has popped up all over campus to explore and enjoy. We start our tour of Rice Public Art with the renowned Terrell Sky Space and end with a piece of world history.
I think the Terrell Sky Space is really just spectacular. When I first saw the designs for it and the rendering, I said, if this is half as good as this looks, it'll be spectacular. And it's so much better than that. I just think we're so indebted to Suzanne Deal Booth and to James Terrell. This is really an important addition to our campus. This piece of art, along with the other artworks on our campus, are part of what was envisioned for this campus from the founding. The campus has to play its role in inspiring our students, and I don't think anything can do that better than this new sky space on our campus.
Having this here is just, it complements the campus in so many ways to the other buildings that are here, but it adds kind of another dimension. It's unlike many of his other spaces in that it's a combination music venue, and its positioning on the campus makes it feel like you go to this space and you have this integral experience, which is light, sound at times, and of course atmospheric, and you can walk through it. I think my experience of it, the light programs are exquisite. I think people are going to really enjoy those at sunrise and sunset. And I look forward to getting feedback from people who do experience. I think it's phenomenal.
The sound in the space is incredible. It's going to be wonderful for pure sort of chamber music, acoustic kinds of performances. The electronic playback and the digital analog sort of capability for creation of electronic music. The equipment is also state-of-the-art, and it sounds wonderful in the space. So we've got ourselves something that is unlike any other James Terrell Sky Space in the world, quite frankly. And we're just
incredibly fortunate to have it in such close proximity to the Shepherd School and to be now a new and unique venue for the Shepherd School.
One of the most profound things about this work of art, the Sky Space by James Turrell, is that it's calculated to create an experience for viewers, both in the morning at sunrise and in the evening at sunset. So you're captured with the light sequence that the artist has created that calculates and coordinates with the actual arc of the sun. There's a lot of power in that. The fact that you're inside a space and that you're experiencing the art, there's so many different colors that you're seeing. You're looking through an aperture in the roof to basically infinity. There's a lot of freedom in that. It lets one's imagination go. It's just an experience that's so beautiful and that you really do have to experience for yourself.
It kind of feels like you're in a dream with the lights and the colors, like the gradients and the ceiling changing, and then you kind of stare at the sky as it changes, like as the sun sets or the sun rises. It's really interesting.
It was amazing. It's just you're surrounded by all these different colors. It goes from like orange to blue to yellow. It was just really awesome being surrounded by everything. There's like a bench out there. You just sit up there and you just look up. There's a square to look out into the sky, but you're just surrounded by color. I'd never been into something like that before. It was awesome.
It's such a fitting symbol for our centennial. This is really, I think, going to be the symbol of our centennial. It embodies Edgar Odell Lovett's commitment to beauty on our campus and what we do in terms of our education. So this is going to be a great symbol of Rice University.
We're installing a major work by the American sculptor Mark de Subaru, which is an incredible addition to the Rice collection. It's interesting because years ago, across the road you may note that the work by Michael Heiser, which was installed in the early 80s. At that time, Mark de Subaru was one of the artists being considered for that site. So Mark thinks it's very fitting that now he's going across from the Michael Heiser. So you have this kind of triptych now of these great American artists, James Turrell, Mark de Subaru, and Michael Heiser. This particular work, it's fantastic and fascinating. We don't have anything else like it in the collection. It's a mobile. It weighs 12,000 pounds. Several months of work have gone into designing the installation of this piece.
Well, weight, first of all, it's a balancing act on top of a pole, so that's second, and it's artwork, so you always want to be careful in dealing with artwork.
It's a work that has been seen in London and also was installed at Governor's Island. So it's a great addition to the collection. We think it will animate this part of the campus, and it's just a natural evolution of expanding the collection that we have. The building that houses the Bioscience Research Collaborative, known as the BRC, part of the Rice campus, is an incredible work of architecture to begin with. So it calls into mind so many opportunities how to collaborate with art projects within this building. Not to mention, there's so much research going on here from scientists of all different types. And so to have this opportunity to create really a space for art, I sometimes think of it as an art museum.
as well as science research going on in this building, that's what it is. Both things are going on and many other things. Tonight we dedicated and unveiled a site-specific painting by the artist Dana Frankfurt.
I was interested in the fact, or excited about the fact, that it's a site-specific piece. I normally make work in my studio, and this was an opportunity to think about the final destination of the painting and to somehow integrate the concept or the text that I would be working with the place where the painting would be located. And the title of the painting is Think, and that's just based off of the text that's in the painting, and I think it sort of speaks to what goes on in this building, but also it relates to the process of painting.
We have 3 major site-specific art projects at the BRC, starting with James Searle's Walking Molecular Flower, a massive sculpture on the plaza in front of the BRC. The second project after that is Leo Villarreal's Radiant Pathway, a series of 92 LED lights, which he envisioned, again, working with scientists at the BRC, what's going on here, how could this art relate to the mission and the research at the BRC. He considers this work like a mind, a brain that's thinking, coming up with solutions, discarding wrong answers, and continuously working, just like the work that takes place at the BRC. And then finally, we have Dana Frankfurt, our first commissioned painting for the Rice Art Program. What's happened at the BRC, we've got so many art fans over here now. They're interested in what we're doing, collaborations. So we decided to take a blank wall in the lobby area and turn it into what we call a pop-up gallery. And so that gives us an opportunity to have changing exhibitions from artists not only at Rice, but other artists we may choose to show an exhibition. For building residents at the BRC, the opportunity to juxtapose an art collection within their everyday life and their everyday existence when they come into the garage and up the elevator and walk to their offices, and they walk past some incredible, great work of art, only serves to inspire them, because we believe that art should be something that people are able to experience every day, and not something that you have to go see in an art museum, but it should be part of your everyday life.
The people that are seniors here today, seniors or even first-year grad student, would just have been born when that wall came down in 1989. I think we're fortunate to have it here on the Rice campus, and I know that the Baker Institute is fortunate to have it, and given particularly the role that President Bush and I played at that time in America's foreign policy.
Let me see my old photos here. All right, I'm just going to do one last check.
Well, they're restoring the segment of the wall there because the graffiti had all faded out. So they're doing it very accurately to just simply retrace it.
And that's a very heavy line here.
Yeah. With the same colors and the same effect and same emphasis that it had when it was when it was first put up here, which was now about probably 12 to 15 years ago.
Well, normally as a conservator, we wouldn't recreate a piece of art like this, but Lenny Bazzucco and the Baker Institute thought, since it had an important message that was verbal and written, that it's important to keep that image there. We're just very lightly re-enhancing the graffiti that was there. And all these little masked areas here are so we don't paint over areas that were chipped out later during taking the wall down or something. So it still has that same effect. But like I said, it's not a normal conservation procedure to recreate something like this, but in this case it seems appropriate, and they felt it was.
One of it says in French at the bottom, salute my friends, salute mes amis, down at the very bottom. Now recall that graffiti was put on there by East Germans. That's the side of the wall that was in East Germany. The West German side of the wall is bare. But it was the East Germans themselves who were objecting, and objecting to the fact that that was a wall that fenced freedom out, wouldn't let people leave. If a country can't appeal to its people to the extent that they want to stay there. They have to fence them in. It's not much of a country. So that's what the graffiti said. And we're, you know, I think it's wonderful that we have this here at Rice University. It's really a significant piece of history.
Who knew concrete could be permeable, filtering rain into the soil instead of our lakes and streams? Or that a mathematical equation could open our ears to music we've never heard? Or that a happy home could cost less than a family car? Who knew we could build an elevator to space? Rice, unconventional wisdom.
Spring is always a special time of year on campus, thanks to our amazing grounds team. Right now, I'm standing in one of the best spots to take photos in Houston. The bluebonnet is the state flower of Texas, and we have plenty of them on the south side of campus. Thanks for joining us on Inside Rice University. To learn more about Rice, visit rice.edu. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to keep up with the latest things happening at Rice. We leave you today with the stars of our show, our owls. Don't forget to look up on your next visit. You never know when you might see one of our real-life mascots in the wild.